This is the network to be in for conscious female entrepreneurs.
Hello, hello. We are Alpha Femme, gorgeous humans. I am so excited to be here with you today. This is day one of Laws of Abundance. We are going to spend 5 days together doing a deep dive in the metaphysics with money, the energetics of money and wealth creation and abundance and receiving abundance, creating abundance. And over these 5 days, we're going to drop in a few different ways. So we're going to have 2 days where I'm going to lead in conversations around the laws of abundance. Then on day 3, I'm going to lead you in a energy clearing and a wealth activation, a very powerful wealth activation. And then we're going to have next week, we're going to have 2 days where you can join me live for integration. My desire within these laws of abundance is that you're integrating, that you're embodying, that you're applying these in your life and business, that it's not, okay, let's like consume the information and move on to the next. And so we've built in time for you to be able to ask your questions and come up and receive a hot seat coaching. And so as we're in this space, I invite you to receive this week, to receive, to see what comes into awareness for you. On Thursday, on day 3, we will be shifting, we'll be moving energies around wealth and money creation. And then to follow, we will be integrating, we'll be deepening in this space. And for those of you guys who are here live with me, I would love to know who is here joining me for the first time. Is anyone the first time in We Are Alpha Femme, the first time joining me live for something? Jessica, Jennifer, Lauren's an OG here. Kendra, first time. Okay, first time, first time, first time, first time. Perfect. So everything I really lead in, I look at through the lens of energetics and frequency, through what I know and experience as the spiritual truth of the nature of who we are at a human level and at a soul level. And so this is what we're in for when we're discussing wealth, money, abundance codes over the next few days. And I wanted to start off by sharing with you, first time for classes with you before for the activations. Okay, fabulous. I wanted to start off by sharing with you a little bit of my wealth journey and my wealth story. I'm a line 6 in my human design, so I share a lot through storytelling, and also because I feel like it's important for the conversation that we're about to embark on and the questions that I'm going to ask you about your own journey and beliefs around wealth and money creation. And I was really reminded of this yesterday in my Transcendence Mastermind, that it's so easy to see people where they're at this point in the journey, and not remembering that there's a whole journey behind the success. There's a whole journey behind the wealth creation. And as we dive into this conversation, I want you to notice for yourself, like, where do you sit with money? Where do you sit with the story I'm about to share with you? Do you drop into excitement and expansion and possibility of what's available? Do you drop into comparison, competition? Because everything that comes up for us around money and wealth is part of our energetic signature with wealth. And the invitation here for whatever comes up for you, we don't want to compound that. We don't want to sit in like shame or guilt or feeling bad about what we're feeling, but noticing and bringing awareness to it, because awareness allows us to shift. Awareness allows us to shift frequency and our energetics behind the money. And it's again, it's just so easy to feel like, well, she had it easier, or she comes from money, or she married wealthy, or whatever stories we like to tell ourselves that allow us to stay in this restrictive energy with money. And so I'm going to start with the beginning-ish of my journey, which is, almost not really the beginning of my journey, because we're going to start about 38 years in. I'm 43 now. But when I first entered the online coaching world, that's where we're going to start. I entered the online coaching world in 2018. And I had a business partner. My best friend was my business partner at the time. And we came into this industry, and like everything felt like I get to frequency. Like every dollar mattered. Every dollar felt exciting. I remember launching our first $44 masterclass, and it felt like pinch me moments. It's like, oh my gosh, like we get to do this, we get to have these conversations, we get to be surrounded by these women, and we get to make money doing this. And we spent that entire first year of 2018 really in this I get to energy and the willingness and the play with money, and everything felt exciting and free flowing. Like money felt free in our world. All of a sudden, I mean, I was making more money than I had ever made in my life, and it felt good. Our first year in business was a 358K year, which was like, and there was two of us. And so, half of that was more in what I received. And it just felt like, this is just like, wow, who even knows what else is available here? But it felt like everything was available. It felt like everything was possible. And then came 2019. And when I came into this industry in 2018, I often say like I fell into the coaching industry. I didn't even really know it existed. A friend said to me, I'd ran two businesses before, and she was like, "Why aren't you coaching?" And I was like, "What's coaching?" And so I kind of fell into it. I wasn't very aware of the industry. And then towards the end of 2018, the beginning of 2019, I really started to notice the industry. And I was like, oh, wait, we're not following the rules of the industry. Like, we're not following the laws of the industry in the sense of like, we're not doing it the right way. We're not, we don't have the sales funnel. We don't have this. We don't have a flow for our customers to go through. Like, we just kind of are winging it. Like, we are just showing up and winging it. And so we were like, okay, we've got to put some systems, some structure. We got to, follow these laws of the online coaching world. And I was like, oh, wait a second. The way I write isn't really how you write, how you're supposed to write a post. It's not how you write so that people like, know, and trust you. It's not how you write so people want to buy from you. And all of a sudden, we shifted everything we did in our business. We shifted the energetics. We shifted this like free flowing nature that was really tapped into. I mean, the first masterclass I ever led was called the Abundant as Fuck Masterclass. It was just like abundance and joy and all of the things that I represented. And then the next year was like, nope, let's do it the proper way. Let's do it the way that you're supposed to do it. And started to see where I wasn't enough, started to see where I was, doing it wrong, not the right way. And by June of 2019, 6 months later, I was like, this industry sucks. This business sucks. I don't want to do it anymore. Like we were about to launch our podcast and was like, oh my gosh, like nothing felt aligned. The offerings that we had started to bring forward in our business were very different from the like abundance master classes we were teaching. Everything felt like a should, everything felt like a have to, and we could see our income going like this. And so in June of 2019, we decided to like take a hiatus. We took 3 months and we called it our like summer of getting stripped. And we stripped away everything in our business that wasn't feeling aligned, the things that we had created in the last 6 months, the members on our team that we felt we had to hire, the offerings that we had created, the name of our brand completely went in the garbage. And 3 months of not earning an income. And really in this 3 months was like, let's build everything from the ground up in alignment of who we are and what we desire and what we want, and with our energy behind it. And so the summer of 2019, $0 in sales came in. July of 2019, was a $0 sales month. And then September, after we went through our own process of stripping in our business, we launched a mastermind called Stripped, where we took other women through stripping the things in their business that weren't in alignment with them. Then October of 2019 came. This is when I was introduced to Melanie. This is when I first joined her mastermind. At the time, just to give you a reference here, so the 358K year, 2019 was a 128K year. Again, remember there's two of us. And so by the time October came and I met Melanie, I was like, I knew she was my person. I knew she was my mentor. I knew I was meant to be in her mastermind, and I knew I wasn't willing to deny my soul. Like I knew I was going to get in that room with her. And it was a stretch for me. At the time, I was $200,000 in debt. I was living month to month, like very month to month. I think in October, I sold my daughter's bike because it was, the end of the season. I was like, sold her bike for $200 so that I could pay whatever bills needed to be paid. And I was making money in my business, just enough to live month to month. But the investment to come into the mastermind with Melanie meant my expenses were literally going to double. And I'm sharing all these parts of the story because I want you to know like my journey with wealth and abundance and creation in this way. And so this was now October of 2019. Again, money in, money out. I think it was the dream up for us then was like 20K months. If we could have 20K months in our business, like 10K for her, 10K for me, it was like this will transform my life and like literally transform my life. And it did. And then coming up to the beginning of 2020, we've now worked with Melanie for 3 months, started playing in the realm of possibility and potentiality. And we were like playing with our desires of 2020 and played with the predictable, the possible, the potential goals. And, when I asked my business partner, I was like, what do you think is like potential? And her response was like a 250K year. And I was like, I feel like $1 million years in our field of potentiality. She literally, we were out and she spit out her drink. She's like, what? Like it was so felt off the like, not in the realm of possibility. And I was like, I feel it there. And the thing is, when I felt it, all of a sudden we were like, let's operate as if that is a real possibility, and not in this like let's fake it till we make it energy. But what happened was we started to really like, the question I asked myself was, what would I do if I already had a seven-figure business right now? What would I not do if I already had a seven-figure business right now? And what this allowed me to do was to see where I wasn't really being a match for the things that I desired and said I wanted. So it was like, okay, would I let that fear live if I already had a seven-figure business? No, like that fear wouldn't even exist. Would I stop myself from going live because I thought people would judge me? No, I'd be like, I don't give an F. Would I, change the way that I was writing my posts like I had done the year before in order, like crossing my fingers, hoping people would buy, that I would convince them? No. Would I get out of my comfort zone? But I'd be willing to speak about this. Would I be willing to take a day off in the middle of the week because I wanted to take a day off in the middle of the week? I started to really shift how I did things because I started to believe and knew that my success was inevitable. And by June of that year, we had our first six-figure month, our first 100K month in business. So July 2019, $0 sales month. July 2020, first six-figure sales month. And what shifted was our willingness to do things, our willingness to play in the field of potentiality, our willingness to experience and live in the field of abundance. Like this was really the biggest thing for me. Somebody asked me this in my mastermind yesterday, and she said, what was the biggest thing in your mastermind with Melanie in the beginning? And I was like, the field of potentiality that opened up for me, the desires, the potentiality, the willingness to play on a bigger stage, the willingness to claim my desire and what I wanted, and the willingness to see where I wasn't really showing up in truth or in alignment with these desires. And so that's where my journey began. This is where we're going to start with the laws of abundance today. And as I said, I want you to notice anything that came up for you within this. Like right away, as we, discuss abundance in all its forms, and we're here talking about abundance in the sense of money and wealth, I want you to notice how you feel as we embark on this conversation. Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling expanded? Are you dropping into comparison? Are you nervous? Do you have like sweaty palms? Are you feeling hopeful? Are you feeling doubtful? I'm feeling inspired, excited. I love the idea of living from the future self. What would she be doing? Wow, the willingness feels good, inspired. This is the right moment. Palm sweaty, mom sweaty. Hello, hello. Nervous and excited, hopeful, doubtful, at ease. And this is, again, what we don't want to do here is drop into comparison. Oh my gosh, someone else is feeling excited and I'm feeling doubtful. This is where we get to transcend. This is where we get to transcend. And so it is important to look at how we're currently responding to money. And even as I say the word money, like what comes up for you? Like, what are your beliefs around money itself? Like outside of my story, what's your beliefs around money? Does money feel easeful? Does money feel hard? Does money feel like there's never enough? Does money feel contracting? Does money feel like it's in flow? Does money feel scarce? Does money feel like if I have more money, it's going to increase responsibility? Like, what comes up for you when what feelings around money? I feel now it can flow through me. It's very recent. Right now feels scarce, elusive, fear of loss. It feels like a relationship. I have what I need, but I want way more to have fun. A little stomach sick. Is it possible for me? Stuck, not breaking the ceiling. I'm ready for more flow of abundance. More money increases responsibility, fear of losing it if I have more. So the first thing that I want to drop in here with you today, with the energy that's coming up and the expansion and also the fears and also the doubt, what if you knew that your success was inevitable? What if you knew that right now, in this very moment, money is desiring you? Money is trying to make its way to you in all of its forms. Abundance is en route to you. What if there was no questioning energy around? Is it possible for you? It would be a game changer. This feels good. It feels just outside of my awareness. So we're going to bring this into your awareness. We're going to bring it so you're like, oh, it's like right there. I can feel it. I can touch it. I can see it. Like I have this deep knowing and this deep trust that it's coming, that it's en route to me. And so then my job is to become the path of least resistance. My job is literally to get out of my own way. And again, I want to remind you as we dive into these laws of abundance and this conversation, not dropping into the feelings of guilt or shame or disappointment. And when I say not dropping in, it's like not allowing yourself to sit in that feeling, not allowing that feeling to compound. When the feeling comes up of guilt, shame, disappointment, it's like, okay, this is what I'm literally here to move beyond. This is what I'm here to transcend. So instead of sitting in that energy, trust in that you were brought here for a reason. Trust that you're here to shift this, to transcend this. We're not going to spend, a lot of time focusing on these old money beliefs because honestly, like these money beliefs, these money codes are in the past. Even if you just shared it with me, it's like that's 30 seconds ago. We get to choose not to carry them forward. And so this awareness will help create the willingness to shift. The first law of abundance, the first thing that we have got to know is that abundance is infinite. Like before we go any further, yes, this is what I'm here to transcend. Before we go any further in this conversation, we must know, each and every one of us here, that there's abundance of money. There's abundance of money that's available for you to access. Money is not limited. And these laws are laws of the universe. Like these are the laws of nature. They do not apply to some and not others. And so when you're here in this conversation, and notice where lack comes in, and notice where scarcity comes up, and notice where you may have a belief of, well, if she has, I can't have. If I have, she can't have. A common, let me know if you've ever felt this before. It's like, let's look at where lack creeps in. And at times we're not even aware of, because the truth is you cannot be in the frequency of abundance and the frequency of lack at the same time. And so we're either consciously choosing the frequency of abundance to see that there's more available, to see that abundance is infinite and limitless, or we're choosing to look through the lens of lack. How do we get beyond that as a very logical person? We're gonna dive into transcending the human mind later on in this conversation, but I love that you're already like aware of this and aware, and what I said, like this awareness is going to create huge shifts. Awareness of where your mind comes in and takes over. Because what I'm going to invite you to do throughout this masterclass is to lead from the soul. And if you haven't done the soul-led course inside We Are Alpha Femme yet, that would be a really great one to also tap into and to pair with this, because that's going to allow you to drop out of your mind and into the soul-led energy, dropping into these soul truths. Because this is what we have to know. It's like we're shifting into, okay, what do I know at a level of my soul awareness that may not exist in my current physical reality that I can see? And so as we're looking at lack frequency and abundance frequency here, notice that lack can creep in so many different ways. A big one for me in the beginning of my journey was, I would have somebody reach out to me and ask me about an offering and ask me about a course. And then 2 days later, someone would come into our mastermind and be like, oh, I'm so excited. Like this person just hired me one-to-one. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, that person just asked me about coming into my course and now they hired this person. So obviously they're not going to hire me. And then I would go and spiral into all these thoughts and my offering's not as good and I'm not enough. And see how like this, like one person's choice, something outside of me would then turn into this spiral of I'm not enough and seeing lack, because my belief there was not that there's more than enough for everyone, not that that one person could actually hire a one-to-one coach and come into my course. It was like I saw everything as micro, everything as, if I'm not receiving somebody else's, it's like taking, it's taking energy from me versus looking through this true lens of abundance where it's like there is more than enough. Like it is limitless. There's more than enough clients. There's more than enough ideas. There's more than enough different ways to express ourselves. Have you ever had the experience where you've wanted to launch a podcast or launch a course or do something and you're like, oh, that's already been done? Again, this is where we slip in. This is where lack frequency comes up. This is anywhere that you're feeling like not enough energy. And this happens in our business, and this also happens in our life. Like, where in your life do you look through the lens of lack and there not being enough, and there never is enough? And if they have, you can't have, some a way that this always like creeped in for me. This is going to maybe sound funny. But literally, like, I would open my fridge and I'd be like, oh, like, look at these like nice fresh strawberries that I want to eat. And then I was like, oh, but if I eat them and then my kids wake up and my kids want strawberries and I've ate the strawberries, is there going to be enough strawberries? What if they want more strawberries and I ate the strawberries? And not in the mentality of like, you can literally go out and get more strawberries. Or if you eat the strawberries because you want the strawberries, they can have the raspberries, whatever it is. But we make decisions all the time from this lens of lack, from this lens of there may not be enough when it's not even the truth. And so I want to invite you right now to see, where does lack creep in for you that you're not even aware of? And what happens if you shift into abundance here? What happens if you notice that there is something available for you to access? Guilty of eating the strawberries. I never realized, oh my God, I do that. We do it in so many different ways. We do it in the saving the sexy lingerie for a special occasion instead of wearing the sexy lingerie today because it makes you feel good. We do this when we, create pleasure as the reward. It's like, well, I can receive pleasure, once I've done something. And this actually connects us into the second law. The second law of abundance is knowing that you're worthy of receiving because you are in this, like, I am because I am frequency. I'm worthy because I'm here living in this existence. I'm worthy because I am. I'm worthy because I'm a child of God, a child of the universe. I'm worthy with nothing else attached to it. The knowing of worth. Worthy because I am. What does that feel like? And just close your eyes for a moment. I'm worthy because I am. There's nothing I need to do in order to be worthy. There's nothing I need to give in order to become worthy. I'm worthy because I am. I am because I am. A long time ago, we were given verses like, knock and the door shall open, ask and it will be given to you. But notice it doesn't say anything like, do, then knock, and the door shall be opened. Give, then ask, and it will be given to you. But somewhere we've, shifted this, that we only feel worthy of receiving if we've done something first, if we've given first. And I want to highlight this because many of us for our whole lives have operated this way. We've been really attached that our receiving has to do with something outside of us. In church, I always said, I'm not worthy to receive as a child. I love this. The universe wants to give to us. I'm still healing that belief that I'm worthy, even if I didn't earn it. So this is where I want you to also look at. It's like, okay, where do we base our worthiness on something outside of us? Well, I'm worthy if they say yes. I'm worthy if I've done X, Y, and Z first. Then I deserve it. Then I earn it. And this is coded in us from a very, very young age. It's like, oh, good job. You deserve this treat. Good job. You deserve this day off. Good job. You deserve, we do this to ourselves. Good job. You checked everything off your to-do list. Now go rest, go take a nap, go enjoy a walk out in nature, go experience pleasure. We have all of these examples of, the more you give, the more you get. And I'm not saying don't give, like give in all the ways. Give your love, give your time, give your attention, give with your generosity and your kindness, and give with your wealth, like give in all the ways. But the big piece of this is don't give, don't make the giving or the doing a condition of your receiving. There's a very different energy behind I give because I give, and I give freely, and I give in order to get. This is where, again, the formula gets all wobbly here. We have conditions around our receiving. We have formulas around our receiving. We create this formula that shifts the be, do, have paradigm, which is meant to be like, be the truth of who you are, do from a state of alignment, and have the experience which you desire. But we often flip this into the sense of, I have to do in order to receive. And so what this can look like is, in my story earlier, well, yeah, if I had a 7-figure business, then I would do X, then I would be, fill in the blank of whatever it is. And this creates that waiting energy. This is why my story at the beginning was like, I didn't wait to start operating like I would as a 7-figure business owner. It was like, let me operate in that way, because like that is the truth of what I know I am here for and where I am headed and what I desire. So let me operate in that frequency now. Let me see where the old stories come up. Let me see where the fears come up. Let me shift that frequency. Let me not wait until I have the thing that proves to me that I'm worthy, or that it's going to happen, or that I can do it. It's so coded from childhood. We have to get the degree in order to the thing, in order to be happy. And it's like, look at where this formula comes in for you. Look at where when we operate in this way, we often put ourselves into waiting energy. And then God, the universe, also meets us in this waiting energy. And how I shift this for myself, how I shift this with my clients, is the way that I really look at the I'm worthy because I'm worthy, and not attaching it to the doing or the giving. And it's just like, can I allow myself to receive always in all the ways? Always in all ways. And I look at these, and I'm not usually a very visual person, but I actually look at this very visually. And I see our channels. It's like, I've got a receiving channel, I've got a giving channel, and I've got a doing channel. And notice that the receiving channel goes this way, the giving channel goes this way, the doing channel goes this way. They're not doing this with each other. They're not intersecting. My receiving channel is just a pure receiving channel. My giving channel is a pure giving channel. My doing channel is a pure doing channel. And one is not impacting the other. What this allows for me is for everything to feel so free energetically. It's like, I give this channel right here, the giving channel. I give because I give. I give because I love to give. I give because I want to share my wisdom with the world. I give because I want my nieces and nephews to have that experience. I give because I give, and I'm free to give in whatever way I give. That means within my business, I can do free offers in complete giving energy, because I'm not attaching it to my receiving. And so if I want to do a free offer that lasts 2 days, I can do a free offer that lasts 2 days. If I want to do a free offer that lasts 30 days, I can do a free offer that lasts 30 days. I give because I want to give. And then I do from an aligned state of doing. I do from a I get to, I want to frequency, not a I should do this, I have to do this, I need to do this in order to open up the receiving channel. Well, no, what I do isn't connected in this way. I do because I do. I do from a state of alignment. I give because I give, and I receive because I receive. So beautiful. I love this visual. See how this changes things? We're shifting the energies of like do in order to receive, give in order to receive. Now, at our very core, I believe that all of us, that we are here as human beings, it's in our nature to give. It's in our nature to do from the state of alignment. Like this is what we want. We want to operate in the I want to, I get to frequency. And so the idea of, well, is it, I know this comes up often for people. Is it selfish for me to just receive if I don't do or if I don't give? It's in your nature. It's in your human nature, your soul's nature to give and to give freely and to do what your soul nudges you to do. And so you're going to do that anyways. You're going to give and you're going to do, and it's going to be magical. And it's actually going to be more magical when you don't attach it to your receiving. And so we free up so much energy. We free up energy in our like energy field. We also free up so much energy in our mind when it's not like, let me figure out this formula. Let me figure out how to write this post in order for people to buy. Let me figure out the perfect way to bring people in through my business. This is literally what I did in year 2. Let me figure out how to have the free thing to the, what was the, to the tripwire and the sales funnel so that they buy, into the nurture sequence, into the whatever comes next, into the low offer, into the group offer, into the high offer. Like, and there's so many different ways you can operate your business. And if you're someone who has sales funnels and strategies in place and it feels good to you, well, guess what? That's in this channel of aligned doing. Incredible. Like incredible. Yes, it activates you. You get to do that, but keep it in the I get to frequency. I want to, I choose this, and I receive because I receive, and I do because I do, and I give because I give. See how much cleaner this feels? Melanie talks about squeaky clean energy. I call it pristine energetics. And this is what creates that squeaky clean energy. And I've heard Melanie talk about this millions of times as well, in saying like, that she's really built her business off growth and evolution. And so nothing needing to happen in a certain moment in time. That means, and what I see that as is she does because she does. Her doing is in alignment. Her doing channel is clear. Her giving, she gives because her heart is like, it's in her nature to give. And she's got such a beautiful heart. And so she gives freely and she receives. And she's not attaching her receiving to things outside of her. She's not attaching, and I don't even need to speak for her. I'll just bring this back in for us. It's like, I don't need you to then do something in order for me to feel worthy. If I'm only worthy if you make a certain choice, if I'm only worthy if you decide to buy, if I'm only worthy because you take action, well, this is where I feel like what we actually do is we like handcuff the universe from bringing our desires forth for us, because it's like, if I'm only going to believe I'm worthy because of something you choose, because of something you do, if I'm only going to feel worthy because of the money in my bank account, well, again, that's when the holding energy comes in. It's like, well, hold on. We don't want her to code in she's worthy because somebody else said she was. We don't want her to code in that she's worthy because someone bought from her or sent her money. We don't want her to code in she's worthy because she had a 6-figure month. We don't want her to code in that she's worthy because she's got this amount of money in her bank account. We don't want her to code in she's worthy because this many people liked her Instagram post or commented on her Facebook. And so this right here is the invitation to step into your worthiness because you are. And when that's clean, then your receiving gets to be clean because you're not basing your worthiness on that in which you are receiving. The biggest shift for me was owning that our creator gave us worth at birth. I don't need to do anything to be. So it is a fact, just like I am a human. Invitation to step into worthiness because we are. What if money equals freedom instead of worthiness? I mean, this to me, I love. And, another thing that I often talk about in my own business, when we come to, and this is kind of going to take us a little bit sideways, but I'll bring us back in a second. But that just sparked this for me. You know, And especially, I think when we're getting started in our business and at different stages in our business, when we talk about pricing our offers, right? It's like, well, I've got to make sure that I'm honoring like my worth in the price that I charge. I see this a bit differently. Because I already know I'm worthy, I actually don't attach my value or my worthiness to the price that I charge. Give me one moment here. And what I mean by this, I love to sell a lot of offers all at the same time. I kind of go through phases with my selling. It's like, here's 7 offers and 7 ways to work with me. And then there's kind of no ways to work with me. And then it's like, here's 5 offers and 5 ways to work with me. And oftentimes, like, I'll literally have 7 offers and they range from $77 to $77,000. And like everywhere in between, there's like a $77 offer, a $700 offer, a $1,700 offer, a 17K offer. And why I'm sharing this in this context, it's like because I'm not attaching my worthiness to the price point, my energy can feel so clear and so clean in each price point I offer. And so the people that say yes to a $77 offer, honestly, like feels just as exciting to me as the person who says yes to the 17K offer. It's like I trust in people. I trust in people in their power. I trust in meeting people where they're at. If I thought, oh my gosh, these 40 people that just bought an offer at $77, well, they must think my mentorship and my wisdom is only worth $77. Like that sucks. No one's going to buy my 17K offer because I'm only really worth $77. Well, look at what that does to the energy field. Does my energy field feel expanded, creating literally a bigger magnetic surface for more to receive more, for more to come? Or is it shrinking the energy field? I'm worthy because I am allows me to feel free in all that I do, and especially all that I do in my business. I just today made a decision to use the word freedom in lieu of money. And this is, I I love that this is what you're sharing here too, because the third law that I want to bring us into is connected to this, I feel. The third law is that truth expands the frequency of abundance. And so there's 2 different parts to this that I feel. And the first one that I want to dive into is like the why behind the money, the truth of your why. And so right here you're saying like the truth is I desire to experience wealth and money and abundance because I desire to experience freedom. And I also want to make it clear, like, it gets to be about the money. And at the same time, I think we all know here it's about much more than the money. So, like, why are you really here? Why are you in this offering? Why are you growing your business? Like, why do you want to do this? Why do you want to create wealth? Why do you want to write that best-selling book? Like, why do you want your courses to sell out? If you're like me, year 2 in my business, I got caught up in the why was the money. The why was, it was like the striving energy, the money, and to grow bigger and to hit that next income goal. And while that truly wasn't the like deeper why, it was the why that I brought to the forefront. It was the why that I was, it was really the strongest why I was connecting to. That's when I started to not feel connected to my business, not feel connected to my truth, not feel connected to my way of doing things. And so, what is that true why for you? What is the why behind the money? And yes, like I said, like have the desire, like use desire to expand your energy field, like desire the yacht, desire the trips around the world, desire the experiences that you get to provide for others. But then we shift the desire of money into desire realm, not the like striving and that chasing for it, not in this like, I need money in order to prove something, not I need money in order to feel worthy. It's like, I mean, again, if we bring it back to the conversation, like everything is felt in frequency first. And so tune into the frequency of your true desire. Allow yourself to create wealth and abundance from that place and be like so clear about this, like so clear about what you're truly desiring at a soul level. When Melanie says, for me, for you, for us, like bring that in. What do I desire at a soul level behind the money for me? What do I desire, at a soul level behind the money for you? What do I desire behind the money at a soul level for the collective? For me, definitely freedom. Freedom is a strong, like moving desire for me. The freedom to be the truth of who I am, the freedom to be the fullest expression of who I am, the freedom to express myself through the way I am able to live my life and the desires that I call forth. Like freedom for me is definitely one of the strongest reasons behind the why. I love, I have 7 nieces and nephews that I'm extremely close to. I love getting to, fly them out to visit me and to experience and to see different parts of the world. Like I love freedom in that sense. I love to be able to give. I love the impact that it creates for other people. I was recently having this conversation with Neil Donald Walsh. I've studied his work and conversations with God for about 7 years. And we were having a conversation around wealth and money and, people's desire. And he's like, people's desire. And he's like, I meet people all the time and they come in and ask me questions like, how do I become a bestseller? And it's like, but the driving energy often is like to become a bestseller, to make the money. Well, what's the true desire behind becoming the bestseller? And I'm currently writing a book right now. And I literally, this brought me into tears and I was like crying. And I was like, but I want to be a bestseller because I want everyone to read my book and I want it to impact the people it's meant to be. And I want people to hear of the book and I don't want it to just sit on a bookshelf and no one to know about it. And I want people to like hear these truths and I want people to remember who they are. And it's like this. He's like, well, that's it. Like that energy. It's like you're not wanting to become a bestseller just to become a bestseller. You're not wanting to become a bestseller just because of the money that you'll make from becoming a bestseller. It's like you want your wisdom to be spread around the world. And so looking at this, that brings in for me so I've got the for me, that collective energy, the for you, the impact, the for you, that spark of remembrance that you find through my words. Whether you feel truth in my words or non-truth in my words, you're still going to find your truth. And so this right here, like this is like, what is the truth for you? Can you allow your truth to expand the energy field around you? And I'm obviously a big hand talker, but this is how I, again, experience and feel into our energy fields. Like if this is my auric field, we're going to kind of try to keep me on screen here. If this is the auric field that, whole circle around me, when I'm in my truth, when I do things because I get to, I want to, I choose to, look what's happening to my energy field. Like it's expanding, it's growing. I'm literally creating this bigger magnetic surface, which means I'm magnetizing more of my desires, more wealth, more soul clients, more opportunities. When I'm not being the truth of who I am, when I'm fearing that I'm too much or that I'm not enough or that I'm not worthy or that I don't have the evidence yet, or when I'm feeling silly and people are going to judge me and so I hold back on my truth, well, guess what happens? I start to shrink my energy field. I start to collapse. I pull things in tighter to me. And then it's like, okay, wait, why are my desires not here? Where's the money? Where's the soul clients? And it's like everything's so tight and so restricted. Like there's no, like desires are like, I'm trying to get through. The money's like, I'm trying to make my way to you, but everything's blocked because you're not expanded. You're not allowing yourself to be out. You're not allowing yourself to be the truth of who you are. And this is the second part of this law, like truth expanding the frequency of abundance. Like, can you give yourself permission to be the complete truth of who you are? I am who I am. And who I am is what expands things. Who I am is what attracts the desires to me. Who I am is what attracts my soul clients to me. When I speak the truth of who I am, when I be the truth of who I am, when I don't dilute my words, when I don't, going back to what I shared in the beginning about how I shifted how I would post things, when I don't do it for other people in the sense of like needing you to get something, when I'm willing to speak my truth, to speak my truth and allowing you to receive. So again, back to these receiving and giving channels, I give and I give freely, which means I also allow you to receive and to receive freely. When I write, when I share, when I lead a masterclass like this, I don't have a you need to take this and you need to get this. And if you don't, I did something wrong. I trust that through my stories, through my voice, through these laws, through what I share with you, you're going to receive whatever you're meant to receive from this place. I give, you take. I give, you get. I give, you receive, but not because I'm forcing you to receive in a certain way, not because I'm directing it. I'm freely giving, you're freely receiving because I am who I am. I'm willing to speak my truth. I'm willing to share my voice. I'm willing to not hold back. I'm willing to not wait. I'm willing to not compare. I'm willing to not stay small. You can feel the strong willingness energy, like willing. I mean, my belief is that God responds to our willingness. God responds to our willingness to get out of our own way. That question that we had earlier, like shifting from the mind into leading from this place and being willing to lead from our soul. Who am I when I speak the truth of who I am increases frequency. And this is really how I look at things. When I talk about frequency and energetics, and I for me, this was like such a, again, talking about bringing things into awareness. It was such a practice for me to be like, how does this, frequency first? And I would look at everything. Does this thought, does this old story I tell myself, does this past evidence I'm bringing into the now, does this memory, does it expand me? Does it allow for more flow? Does it allow for more creation? Does it allow room for more abundance? Or does it keep me in this holding pattern? Does it keep me stuck? Does it keep me where I currently am? Or does it shrink it? Does it make me pull back to receive more, to experience more? We've got to be willing to expand in our own energy field first. And this is where, I think somebody said earlier, like feeling like the conversation around money is I'm at a plateau or hitting these glass ceilings. Well, when we're in the moments of like the plateau and the glass ceiling, like, yes, of course, there's it's not just meant to be like, whoop, let's go like this. Like there's pauses, there's moments in between, there's the magic of the unknown. And also noticing like, okay, where have you started to play to not lose? Where are you not going all in? Where are you not playing to win? Where are you hanging on to old belief codes? Where are you not extending your energy into the realm of potentiality? It's I mean, I'm sure whether this has been your story or you've heard this story, that oftentimes people will have experiences in their life, in their business. They'll like have this quantum leap. And then it's like, and then I stay at that place, what feels like forever. It's like I've had the quantum leap and then I can't grow beyond there. I've had the quantum leap and it's like everything, like there's no more is what it feels like. There's no more to access. And it's, well, the universe responds to you and your energy field. And so as long as we're in a place where it's like, okay, well, all the desires are here and I've done, this is like, if we feel like this is it, well, we're met in the like, this is it energy. So it's like, how can I start to play here? How can I expand? How can I stretch a little bit further? How can I play with my own energy field? How can I get a little bit braver? How can I get a little bit bolder? How can I, bring my truth forward in another layer of depth? How can I express myself at that next level? And so, are there things right now that you felt called to do in your life, in your business, in your leadership that you haven't done yet? What would happen if you didn't just like kind of toe dip and be like, oh, let me see, let me try, as long as the result is what I want, or as long as people receive it and receive it right away? Like, what if I just decide to be like, I am who I am, and let God, the universe, the people around be magnetized by that frequency? What if I trust before I have the evidence? What if I trust before I see the result? What if my commitment to self right now in this moment is to be more of who I am? To let more of who I am be felt, to allow my words to be heard, to allow my unique style to be shown, like whatever it is there a part of yourself right now that you're holding back? Is there a part of yourself that you're hiding? Is there a voice that you're not bringing forth? Is there, something that you felt the call to share, to say, to lead in that you feel like, I'm not worthy? She's already done it. Who am I to do that? And what if you switch it to who am I not to? I'm resigning as a professional toe dipper. I love that. I love that. I'm resigning as a professional toe dipper. But this is it. It's like, can I be willing to go all in? When I say go all in, I mean go all in on who you are. I think sometimes this idea of like, can I go all in means can I go all in on something outside of me? Can I go all in by saying yes to this course or by hiring this mentor? For me, it's like, can I go all in on me? And even if we backtrack to the story where I shared where I went into mentorship with Melanie for the first time back in 2019. Like when I watched the live of her, it was like, she's my person. Like, let's go, let's do this, but not from the she's got it and I don't. And so I need her. I have to do this. It was like I felt the resonance at this like soul to soul level. And what that really sparked for me was not I'm all in on her. It was I'm all in on me. I'm all in on my desire. I'm all in on my dream. I'm all in on my desire to grow. I'm all in on my desire to create. I'm all in. And one of the things that Melanie has said to me over the years, she's like, from the first time I met you, I knew that you were all in no matter what, no matter how long it took. And this was like the frequency for me. It's like, I'm all in because I know that my success is inevitable. I know that wealth is trying to make its way to me. I know. And at that time, very much if I looked at what was true in my reality, did I have evidence that money was trying to make its way for me? No, I had evidence that money came and money left. I had evidence that money was hard. I had evidence that I had evidence that I was a conduit for money. And to be honest, like this was a big first part for me was seeing the abundance in that. Let's go back to law one. There was for a long time, it was like, okay, money comes in, money comes out. And I saw that through the lens of lack. Money doesn't stay, money always leaves. I can't hold on to money. I can't create more. And then I started to see it through the lens of abundance. What was that shift? Money in, money out means I'm a conduit for money. It means money truly is always making its way to me. Money in, money out means that money wants to find me. Money's trying to find me. And so I started to again like shift. Can I see through the lens of abundance? Can I see through gratitude of what already is there, what's already existing? Can I be grateful that I'm a conduit for money? Can I be grateful? I like honestly, and I know many of you have done the diffusing debt that's in the We Are Alpha Femme membership as well. But I started to find gratitude for my debt. Like I literally was like, okay, I'm $200,000 in debt. And I started to see it as well, God gave me $200,000 to play with. The banks gave me $200,000 to play with. If I'm a match for $200,000 worth of debt, I'm obviously also a match for $200,000 worth of money. Shifting everything from the lens of seeing where I looked at things through the lens of lack, through the lens of victimhood, through the lens of I'm not enough, and how can I expand this in my energy field through my thoughts, through my choice, through the lens in which I choose to look at things. And this is where the conversation can shift into, well, come back down to the real world. That's not actually true. That's not actually like whatever story you tell yourself here. Who says? We choose the truth. We choose to be the creator of what comes next in our story. We choose to be the creator of our life. And so whatever expands me energetically, like if I choose to see through that lens, if I choose that belief, if I choose to bring in my awareness for anything that doesn't match that belief, when I have that thought of like lack come in, can I catch it? Can I catch it in a moment and see the untruth of it and seeing that I'm seeing that through the lens of where I've just came? I'm not seeing it through the lens of abundance that I'm choosing right now in this moment. Dana's saying, I can't go all in on me because I've created many blocks around me. And so again, like up until now, that's been the story. Up until now, that's been the experience. What do you choose today? And if we know that at any given moment in time, we get to choose. We get to choose with our willingness. We get to choose within the lens in which we look at the world. If I get to choose right now in this moment, what am I choosing? What am I willing to choose? This is, I think, an interesting way to look at it. What am I willing to choose? Oftentimes, even though there's the thing that we want the money, we want the wealth, we want the success, we're not willing to choose it because of the fear of what comes up with it. Okay, if I choose the money and the success and the wealth, well, does that mean I'm choosing for the people in my life right now to not like me? Am I choosing to be, people are going to think that I'm greedy or selfish? Am I choosing, to have haters come my way because they don't believe whatever they don't believe? Like we we get mixed up in choice because we base what we're choosing. We don't allow ourselves to choose at the soul level because we choose based on what people outside of us are going to do or what they're going to think or what they're going to say, or we start to make things mean something about us. And it's like, if I just bring it back into, I'm the creator of my life. I get to decide, I get to choose, and not with pressure of like, I need to make this happen. We're going to get into this in the next couple laws that we'll dive into on day 2, but not from this place of pressure, but just from this place of truth. I get to choose, I get to decide, I get to create, I get to choose what lives in my energy field right now. I get to choose to hang on to the old stories, the old coding, the old memories, the old experiences, or I get to choose and see they led me to where I'm at today. And today I get to stand and step into my power and the power of choice. And I get to choose what I'm creating in this moment via my thoughts, via my belief codes. I talk about this a lot when I do belief code work. It's like belief, knowing, experiencing. Your belief comes first. What do you believe to be true? What do you then know to be true? Can you shift from belief to knowing? So belief, crossing my fingers and hoping that money is available to me and hoping that what Jack said, where the first law is the law that abundance is infinite. I can hope that that's true. That's going to produce one experience with money. I can know that that's true. I can close my eyes and feel in the depth of my soul that even though I don't see it right now in my reality, even though I don't see it right now in my bank account, that I know that abundance is infinite. I know that there is more than enough. I know that money is trying to make its way to me. I know that success is inevitable. The knowing flips the switch into the experiencing, the experience of that which you know. Gorgeous souls, day one of the laws of abundance. Thank you for being here live with me. We are just beginning to dive into these laws. Module 2 tomorrow, we're going to bring forth more laws around abundance, the laws of abundance. Thank you so much. I cannot wait to see you then.
This is the network to be in for conscious female entrepreneurs.